Hey guys, I'm gonna show you how to configure your joystick with the Skyward sword for Dolphin, and it works pretty well. You can do everything in the game with it. Of course there will be some parts that you're gonna suffer a little, like when you will there will be a part that you gonna need to draw a circle, and it will be pretty hard to draw, but you can do it. You just need to focus and try. So I'm gonna show you my configs, and let's do it. First thing, you need to configure the graphics. The audio, you're gonna put X audio 2 and emulation fast here. You need to do it when the game is not running, because the audio is gonna, if you don't do that, you will have slowdowns because of the audio, trust me. The graphics, I use native resolution 2 times. You can try whichever works for you. You can put anti-aliasing. I didn't notice a lot of difference using anti-aliasing, so I'm not using. Enable this, disable all this. You go to hacks and enable texture, disable fast maps, disable per pixel depth, and open MP texture decoder. That's it. For graphics, we are done. Now the controllers, it's a bit tricky to configure, but you need to choose emulated Wii mode right here and configure. I'm using a PS3 controller, so I have the slider. The slider is, well, when you're using the PS3 controller, you need to have Motion Joy. That program is used to configure the PS3 to play on the computer. So you choose PS3 right here, and you need to create a profile for it to run. You go to options, and you can keep everything at the default, but you need to put dial plus dial here and sliders on the tilt, because the tilt by default it uses the same as the right stick. I don't know why, so you need to choose it. So choose dial. You can find it at the axis right here, sliders and dials. Okay, but that's it. Now if you don't have a PS3 controller, if you have an Xbox One, I don't know if Xbox have tilting. I don't think so. So like here, when I tilt my controller to the left and to the right, you can see right here that it's rotating, because the PS3 have this function. I put roll left for rotating my joystick to the left, and roll right to the right, and pitch forward when I slide it downwards, and backwards when I slide backwards. So right here in the configuration, I'm gonna use a PS3 controller, and I'm gonna put a photo right here of the PS3 controller so you can keep up with me if you use an Xbox One. So let's start with the buttons. You're gonna use I use X for A, because A is the running button and the interaction button. So it's gonna be a button that you're gonna use a lot, so put it on a easy to use button. B is the L2 for me. B is the items and paraglider and cancel buttons. One is start. So start will open my inventory on the game. 2 I use with keyboard H, because this button is for help and you're not gonna use it a lot in the game, so I chose to put it at my keyboard. You can do it by you just right click here and choose keyboard here, and you have all these keys. You choose it and put here, or you detect and press a key and it will automatically detect. When you detect it, just click on select if it's the only key that you want to use it, Or if you wanna use a lot of keys for the same button, you just choose like C and click on R. Don't click at end, because the end you're gonna have to press both of the buttons at the same time, so don't use it. Just when you're done, you set and OK. Minus is, I don't know, let me see. Oh, it's L1. L1 I use it for the weapons menu. I don't know if it's the weapons menu or the item menu. I think this is the item menu and B is the weapon menu. But anyway, you choose it. Plus is select. Yeah, I use select for the map. You can choose it wherever button you want. Home is nothing, just don't use it. Okay. In the IR, you're gonna use the left stick for aiming with the bow and slingshot and camera stuffs. And forward is bind to L3. That's the L3 is the when I press the stick button, the left stick. Left stick is L3. Right stick, when you press it, is R3. Okay. So when I say L3, you know what I'm talking about right now. So forward, I use L3 because L3 will be the button that we use when we are grabbed, and forward here, it functions like shake. It works like shake, so you're gonna shake the Wiimote when you press L3. Okay. Fast. This is really tricky. You're gonna have to bind several buttons in here, because this is a function that tells the emulator that you are moving the Wiimote really fast. So you are actually trying to use your sword, you know, slash with your swords. So I don't know which one is it, but I use it for square, triangle, circle, and R1. R1 is the target button. So when I'm targeted at the enemy, I can rotate the right analog stick and it will slash with the sword. If I don't hold the R1, it will not slash. Okay? But I don't use it a lot. Only when I want to slash from the right to the left. Sometimes you're gonna use it, but not all the time. So anyway, just put square, triangle, circle, and R1 here, and we keep moving forward. So now we have the thrust. Thrust is the circle button. I use it for when you want to stab an enemy with the sword. And when you are climbing some vines at the game, you're gonna use circle to leap. So use it. Rotate. Now here's the tricky part. Rotate left and right. You're gonna use it when you are riding your bird, and when you are using your robot. So as you can see, it's the PlayStation 3 joystick have a rotating and tilting function. So when I tilt for the left, my joystick, and for the right, it works a little bit here. When I move my controller up, it rotates up, and down it rotates down. So this is it. Is the sliders that I chose in the Motion Joy are here. This is the Motion Joy is not slider here, but it's the same thing. The Motion Joy, I think, is called dial or something like that. So pitch forward, you are gonna use it when you, let me just check here. Yeah, it's a triangle pitch forward. It's the when you want to slash from up to down. Okay, use it pitch forward. The slider, I use a pitch forward and slider, because slider is when I put my controller down. Okay, If you don't have the PS3 controller, if you have an Xbox controller, I think you should use it with your directional buttons. Okay, direction down, direction up, roll left. You're gonna use, if you have an Xbox, you use the direction to the left, and to the right on the right. I don't know if it works well because I don't use it. I use it with the PS3, but I do think that it's gonna work. Okay. If you have it on PS3, you just bind with your sliders that we talked about on the Mojo Joy. Your right is when you slash with the sword from the left to the right. Okay. So I use square. You're gonna use it a lot, so pay attention to that. Shake, I don't really use it. I do use it occasionally when I'm grabbed. I use the R3, that's the right stick button. And when you're grabbing in this game, you need to shake the Wiimote and the nunchuck. So on the nunchuck configuration, I use the shaking to the left stick, and here I use the shaking to the right stick, that's shaking the Wiimote. So I press both of them when I'm grabbing and hope it will work. The D-pad. Right now on the game, and I'm pretty advanced, I only use it up and down. Up for the harp and down to talk with V. So and down is the key that you're gonna use to call your bird when you're falling. So you can't put that on the keyboard. You need to find somewhere. If you're using the Xbox controller, you need to find some key to press it. Try putting the item button. You know, that's, let me see it. Yeah, the weapon button is the button 6, so it's B here. Okay, so try putting B on the right stick button, so then you can just hold right stick button and move the right stick to the direction you want to choose the weapon. And actually you're free to use the L2 to other key, so you can put the down button at your L2. Okay, up is the harp, and if you're using the Xbox controller, you're not gonna have any button left, so I'm sorry, just use the keyboard. No, choose keyboard here and use space, I don't know, to play the harp. You're not gonna use it a lot of times in the game, so when you want to play the harp, press space and that's it. I'm sorry. If you use a PS3, just configure it with your directional. So up, down, left, right. Okay. At the nunchuck, we use the C button to use the C button to use the sensor. In this game, we have a sensor. You know, it's a sensor that you're gonna use it to find some stuff in the game. So use it at the home. Okay. I use that my PS3 home button. You on the Xbox, I don't know what the name of the button is, but I'm pretty sure that it exists. So use it at the home button. Z is the target. You're gonna need to use it with R1 because we configured the R1 here. Okay, at fast. You can see here. R1 is one of these buttons. I do think it's 5. So yeah, it's 5. So you need it to when you're targeting something, you want to use and you want to hit with the right analog stick. You know, press the right analog stick to the left and to the right to swing your sword to left and right. You need to be targeting. So that's why we put target at fast here. When you're holding R1, everything that you swing is fast, so it will hit with the sword. Now stick is the movement key, so use your left analog, up, down, left, right. Okay, I use that on here because I'll change it to 20 because sometimes when I'm running let's say to the left, and I stop, it will turn to the right, because when I release the analog, the stick goes to the right a little, and the player just look to the right, and that annoys me. So I put that zone 20. It means that it will ignore low movement with the stick, you know. It will ignore in this area. It will only work when you pass this area here. You can increase it if your controller is not working well, but 20 is fine for me. Thrust is the roll button, so put it on your L3, that's the left stick button, you know? And use it as well at shake, because that's when we are grabbing, we want to use L3 and R3. And that's it. I'm gonna show you some things that you need to know to play it well. So there will be this part of the game that you need to put your sword upwards, so you can use this skill here. And to do that, if you use an Xbox, you just hold R2 and it will do it. If you are using PS3, you can put your controller up and it will work as well. Okay. To use the special ability, rotating like this and like this, you just press the left stick, that's the shield button, and the roll button. You press the left stick with the square or the triangle. The triangle is hit upwards, and the square hits like that. It just lashes. So if you want to rotate in this direction, use square. If you want to rotate like this, use triangle. When you are aiming, let's say I'm using dolls, that's the home button. Watch out that sometimes the controller will move alone. When it happens, just press the down button, the center one. If you use an Xbox, I think we chose L2 for it, so just press it and it will recenter. There is this annoying stuff with shooting with the slingshot, that it doesn't aim where you are aiming, you know. See? So you need to aim a little to the right and up if you want to hit something. See? If I want to hit this tree, and you just aim left and down, and I'm hitting the tree. Same goes with the bow, but the bow is really strange. It will go just up sometimes, and sometimes it will. You just need to shoot and see where it goes, and then change the key. When you shoot, don't hold the right analog to any direction, because it will bug your aim. Just shoot and keep the analog where you were aiming, you know. So if I want to hit, let's say this sign here, you need to aim like this slingshot. It's really tricky to shoot with these stuffs. Luckily, you're not gonna use it a lot, so you'll be fine. And that's it. The hook shot works pretty normally. You don't have to aim strangely like this slingshot and the arrows. The beetle, I use the tilting with my controller, like tilt left, tilt right, down, up. So if you are using the Xbox, you're gonna use the right stick. I don't remember actually what we chose. I do think it's the right stick, so use it. No, we chose the movement keys, right? The directional keys. So use the directional keys. And the same goes for flying. You tilt down, tilt up. Tilt down. You press square if you want to go up. And press X to boost. That's it. Anything you need to know is this stuffs. So lastly we have the harp, and you just need to train to get used with the controls. When you get used with the controls, you're gonna be fine with the game. It's not perfect, obviously it's not perfect, but you can play the game and you can finish it with this configuration. There will be this part that you're gonna need to draw with the sword, and it will be really tricky for you, but just be persistent and you're gonna enjoy the game. Works pretty fine. So on the harp you just hold X, and I tilt my controller for the left, but I don't think it makes this really difference. And you just use the analog to play left and right. It's not that good, but it works, so don't worry about it. It will work. So that's it. Now you can play the game and let me know if you have any doubt. I'm sorry about my English. It's not my first language, obviously, but if you have any questions, just leave it at the comments, and bye bye.